as a person, as a friend, or whatever like that. And there are plenty of times where I've failed at that. Maybe, I don't know, things were going well, and she goes, "Oh, let's just be friends," blah blah like that. And at the same time, like for me, I was either interested or not interested. And whenever a girl says friends, it's just like for me, I just have to cut it off and back off. So maybe I failed in that aspect. So, um, and where she totally won me over just by that fact alone. Yeah, like I said, um, just in general for males, I would say, or for general relationships, people said, friendship, a friendship is very important, for a marriage or a relationship to really work out. And at the same time, like I'll honestly admit I didn't know how that worked out in the end, because for me a lot of times when I was in America, it was mostly like I was interested in dating someone. I was interested in seeing it progress more, in that aspect. But now I have a greater appreciation for it, and that is the main reason why I I feel she's different from every other girl, not just Vietnam, but every other girl in the world. Just that fact alone, just the friendship, just the her resiliency. You know what I'm saying? That no matter what happened between the two of us, even as friends, like she still stuck with me. Like she was the one that gave it hope, and at the same time, I was the one that kind of gave up too soon. So it was, in my eyes, dead already, and she's the one that gave it CPR and resuscitated it. So if you want to look at the core of our relationship, that is what our relationship is built on, that friendship. So is that easy to find? I mean, I'll honestly say I don't think I'll find it another person like that, quite like that, ever again. I mean, I always leave the option that maybe things won't work out between the two of us, but I mean, that's something that I find incredibly valuable, and I greatly appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Something with Twee that maybe she does not even notice within herself, but that's something that I see, and that's something that I really appreciate. So if you ask me what is the main reason why I love her and I want want to be with her for the rest of my life, and what separates her from the rest of every girl in the world, I would say that's the main reason. You know what I'm saying? The other two reasons are, related to that sequence, but at the same time, they would never compare to that. And I might as well go to the other reasons as well, because since I have you as a captive audience, I might as well. So the next two are, just just with her personality. It's always been very um, optimistic. She likes to laugh. She doesn't take things too seriously, and I think I really appreciate that. Um, just as a person, just as friends, just as whatever, people that like that, just don't take yourself too seriously. Don't take life too seriously. You know what I'm saying? Like, I try not to. Sometimes I fail miserably, but I try to not take life too seriously. And she's not just said that, but she's done it. Just with her sense of humor. Wherever she goes, I mean, especially with me, she's always laughing. She's always joyful. She's always happy. Yeah, she gets pissed off at me sometimes, but at the same time, like, she always keeps a positive attitude, and I think that's something that's very important. And let's see, that's number two. That's the main reason, and the last reason. Sometimes it's hard for me to remember all of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, three is a big number. So the last reason is just that, in addition to her sense of humor, she can't stay mad for long. So they're all kind of like um, integrated together. And the more that I'm in a relationship with her, like there was a time when it was flooding and she got pissed at me for sleeping in. Yeah, sleeping in through the flood, and everyone was cleaning up while I was sleeping. And I admit that was my fault. That was my fault. And every time that she's been mad at me, it's always been like, the longest has been like that month. Well, actually, I was still pissed at her longer than she was still mad at me. So I would say a couple of weeks for her. And usually if it's something that's not that big of a deal, it's less than a day. She was pissed at me for not cleaning up after the flood, and I was sleeping in. So she was pissed at me for 2 hours. So, I mean, like I try not to abuse that fact or whatever like that, but just that fact alone. I mean, they're all related to each other. So I would say, I mean, I really love that aspect of her, that she doesn't, one, she values the friendship so much that she's the one that kept it alive. Two is just with her sense of humor, just not taking life too seriously. And related to that is three, she doesn't stay angry for long, and she just doesn't take things too personally. Um, yeah. So does that explain our relationship? I mean, if you wanted me to list like the three things that I love about her the most, yes. And at the same time, the three things that I dislike or hate about, certain things about her personality. I mean, everyone's got strengths and weaknesses, and just to have a healthy relationship, you kind of can't just see the positive. You got to see the negative as well. So probably the next one I'll describe what I don't like about her. And fortunately, they aren't too bad. But at the same time, like I have my own strengths and weaknesses. She has her own strengths and weaknesses. Hopefully, the strengths greatly outweigh the weaknesses, and in her case, they do. So that's it for now. Um, that concludes the three reasons why I love Tui. And honestly, within the short amount of time that I can honestly say, I want to be with her for the rest of my life. Does that answer any questions? Hopefully it does, and if it doesn't, sorry. So that's basically it for this portion of this. I'm sure I'll be blogging more since I have a captive audience now. It's always good to have people listen. All right, peace out.